afternoon, folks, and welcome to the Gulf South Conference matchup at the 25MAR Field in beautiful Jackson, Tennessee for the first of a three-game series between the Christian Brothers University Buccaneers and our very own Union University Bulldogs. Now, we expected to play a couple games yesterday, but intense storms rolled through the south here. Our hearts go out to all the people in Mississippi as the tornadoes that avoided us did their damage in other areas. All of our hearts and our prayers go to them. Now, we moved the doubleheader to do two today at 1 and 3 o'clock and a single game tomorrow at 2 o'clock to make it up. All the games will be played here at the Fez, and the sun is out. The field is beautiful. The grass is incredibly green. They've worked a lot on this clay, this dirt. Amazing job by the groundskeepers. I went to bed last night having no idea how we are going to get the field ready for today, but they have. It looks great this afternoon. It's 61 degrees here in Jackson and climbing. There is an 11-mile-per-hour east wind. We'll see how the left-handed batters do, especially with those powerful hitters like Carson Chavies and Grant Ross. A couple home runs for both of them on the season. We'll see if they can get a few more out today. That clay looks great there. Of course, the dual texture. See Netterville taking his in and out now, as well as the second baseman, Hardy. We have quite a few fans here for the weekend. Great attendance so far at the 25MAR Field. Later today at 3 o'clock, there is a Greek life cookout. A lot of the Greek organizations on Union's campus coming together, doing a cookout at tailgate and joining our baseball and softball teams. Of course, softball getting their first home games in on the season. We have a double broadcast today, so if you want to switch back and forth between me and softball, we encourage you to go to uuathletics.com, of course, how you access this today. Now, the Bulldogs enter this game 9-17. They're 5-10 in their Gulf South Conference action. They're coming off a win against Delta State in the first game they played last week, in Sam Poindexter, who we see on the mound today, threw a complete game gem, but it was spoiled by a two-out rally in the ninth by Delta State. Poindexter was nearly perfect through 8 innings, allowing only 2 hits, no runs with 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. However, in the ninth inning with 2 outs and a runner on first, Delta State got a single, driving in the tying run while the batter moved to second on an error, an intentional walk, and then the winning run came in on the next at-bat. Union scored its run in the 5th inning when Britt Netterville drove in Blake Barrett with a single, and Union actually did out-hit Delta State 8-4. We're definitely expecting an offensive matchup here today against the Buccaneers. Now, in the second game of the series, we saw the Statesmen jump out to an early lead as they scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. In the second and third inning, they scored 7 runs on 4 hits, increasing their lead to 10. Union rallied in the 4th inning. They scored 10 runs in that inning. Of course, Ben Smith and Mitch Sisk both homering in the 4th. The Bulldogs took the lead in the 7th inning as Netterville scored on a double by Alec Hardy. The Statesmen answered right back and scored 3. They tacked on 4 more runs in the 8th and pulled ahead to win the game 17-11. We're going to see Jarrett Folks, the center fielder, step up to the plate, of course, to get this game underway here in Jackson. For the remainder of the recap, in the third game of the series versus Delta State, Union struck out first as Carson Chavy scored on a single from Grayson Swanson. Union scored the bulk of their runs in the 4th inning as they scored 4. They picked up 1 more run in the 6th, winning with the final score of 6-0. Netterville, Hardy, and Chavies led Union, with 3 of them going 2 and 4. That ball is going to be popped up on the infield. We see Grant Ross, the freshman first baseman, running over, making the grab. And that's going to be the first out of the game as Folks goes out with a pop-up to the first baseman. Like we said, Netterville, Hardy, and Chavies led Union, with the 3 of them going 2 for 4. Sisk and Hardy both had extra base hits with a double. Sisk and Colby Davis led the team with 2 RBIs. Ryan Evans started on the mound, throwing 5 innings, allowing only 5 hits. Middleton and Jack Rasmussen also contributed in the shutout. Now, we expected a game to be on Tuesday in Nashville at Trevecca against the Trojans, like we got to see the Bulldogs face them last week, but it ended up getting rained out. We've been looking forward to some baseball. The sun is finally out as the game is underway here in Jackson. Now the Buccaneers enter this game looking to break a 5-game losing streak. They were swept by Valdosta State, had a heartbreaking loss to Bethel. They were actually up 9-0 in that game. Big swing and a miss there by Faro. They're leading 9-0, and then they lost the 3rd game to 12-4 to Ouachita Baptist. This is at the conclusion of today. This will be their 7th game in 7 days. Of course, they had 2 games on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, a game on Tuesday, a game on Wednesday, and now we are here in Jackson. Running over is Chavies to retire the 2nd out here in the top of the 1st inning. Before we get in the starting lineups, we'll introduce the first baseman, Ben Bercato, a senior batting .386, the highest average on this team, really the core of this Buccaneers program so far this year. Of course, one of only 2 seniors starting today for Christian Brothers. He has 114 at-bats, leads the team in hits with 44, 29 runs scored. And now we will get into our starting lineup. So for Christian Brothers, batting first, we have the center fielder, Jarrett Folks. Batting second, the shortstop, Charlie Faro. Batting third, the first baseman, Ben Brocato. We see him at the plate right now, the cleanup hitter. And playing left field, we have Clay Factow. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Dalton Pizer. Batting sixth, the catcher, Matthew McDaniel. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Seth Brown. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Tate Gentleman. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, Shaq Matthews. On the mound for the Bulldogs today is their ace, the left-handed pitcher, Sam Poindexter, the junior, with a 3.32 ERA. He's got 2 wins under his belt, 1 loss. He's appeared in 3 games, all of which he has started. He actually threw that 1 complete game against Delta State last weekend, has thrown 21 2/3 innings, given up 15 hits, 9 runs, 12 walks, and has struck out 20. Of all of the Union pitching staff, we've definitely gotten to see Poindexter get his control dialed in over the course of the season. Had a great start to the year. They knew that he was going to be that ace at the beginning of the year. They weren't really sure what the starting rotation was going to look like, if they were going to do a 4-man rotation, possibly a 3-man with a couple alternates, and Poindexter has really settled into that spot there. It's going to hit over to the third baseman, Mitch Sisk, throws it over to first. That's going to be a 5-3 putout, and the Bulldogs go 1-2-3, 3 up, 3 down inning. We take it to the bottom of the first inning here in Jackson. Score 0-0.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Welcome back. We're going to kick off the bottom of the first inning with the Bulldog shortstop, Britt Netterville. On the mound for the Buccaneers, we have the right-handed freshman, Jackson Sleeper, of course. Freshman breakout star here for the Bucs this season. He has a 6.82 ERA. He's struggled in his win-loss ratio, of course, having only 2 wins, 4 losses. He's appeared and started in 8 games. He's thrown 31 2/3 innings, given up 29 runs on 34 hits, striking out 33. Very impressive, especially in his release point, something that the Bulldogs are looking to find early and jump out to an early lead. Of course, both of these teams having some pitching struggling so far on the season. Bulldogs looking to get out offensively and make sure the Bucs can't catch up. For the Bulldogs starting lineup today, batting first, we have the shortstop, Britt Netterville. He's at the plate now. Batting second, the second baseman, Alec Hardy. Batting third, the right fielder, Carson Chavies. Of course, it'll be interesting to see if he bats right or left-handed, especially with the wind going out towards right field today. The cleanup hitter today is the left fielder, Grayson Swanson. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Mitch Sisk. Batting sixth, the first baseman, the freshman lefty, Grant Ross. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Blake Barrett. We usually see him switching off with Ross. Batting eighth, the catcher, Canyon Pace, instead of Ben Smith. Interesting move. We'll see if Ben will start the second game at the plate. And batting ninth, we have the center fielder, Trey Frierson, for the Bulldogs. Netterville flying out to left field there. We saw that on the last play. It's going to bring up Alec Hardy. Alec Hardy, the transfer out of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Junior transfer, hitting .222 so far on the season for the Bulldogs. Has really found his stride over there at second base. He switches off between him, Eli Snelson, and Mitch Sisk in that spot over there. He's really started to figure out his hitting. Had a great breakout game. Of course, slumped a little bit. Broke out of it last week against Albert Montgomery. We got to see it again when he had a great 2-for-4 game against Delta State last week. He's got a double, 6 hits on the season, scored 3 runs, 1 RBI, batted in. Upstairs there to Hardy, good look. Steps out, adjusts the gloves. Oh, I get to hear the softball team over behind us today. Lots of energy over there for the girls as they played their first game. As Hardy grounds out, of course, the softball team having their ups and downs so far this season. After fixing the piping and water issues that they started off the season with. They are back home at the Fez right behind us. You'll probably get to hear some of the excitement of that game throughout this series. Of course, they have a doubleheader as well today. There's delivery. As predicted, we do see Carson Chavies hitting lefty today. The sophomore batting .327. He's got no home runs on the season, but he does have a very impressive 4 doubles. 16 hits, 13 runs so far on the year. Of course, leading this Bulldog lineup in hits on the season so far. Great young sophomore. Impact, and he's going to get another one. That's going to go out towards left center field. Running over his folks. In fact, they're not going to have time to grab that. And Chavies gets the Bulldogs started with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the first inning. Introducing the cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs, we had the left fielder Grayson Swanson. Grayson, the senior, hitting .213 on the season. Quite a bit of power and pop in his bat, of course, leading the Bulldogs in basically every hitting record last year. Got the Gulf South Preseason Player Award. Lots of recognition here in the NCAA and within the conference. Interesting to see Gentleman, the second baseman, playing closer to the bag, knowing Chavies has ripped off a couple so far this season, possibly looking to do another one. Here he's protecting as far as the shortstop. Kind of middle of the dirt, of course, third baseman Brown towards the middle as well. From the stretch, Chavies is going to go. Here's the throw down from McDaniel, the catcher. It's going to be there, but it is going to be in time. Chavies is gunned down for the 3rd out. Very great throw there by McDaniel, the catcher. He sniped that one. Chavies thought he had it, didn't slide underneath it. Could have gotten underneath the tag possibly, but it's always a woulda, coulda, shoulda situation. So the bases are cleaned up. That's the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the top of the 2nd here in Jackson, 0-0. Clay Factow, the junior transfer to this Buccaneer lineup, of course, hitting cleanup for the Bucks today, hitting .277 on the season. He's played in 28 games, started all of them. 3rd place on the team for at-bats. He's only going to have to see one pitch before he gets hit by it. Poindexter, of course, only his 3rd hit batter of the season. Piser's going to be the next batter. Of course, Factow over there at first on the hit by pitch, switching over to the stretch is the lefty Poindexter. He's going to throw over, take a little check at first base, possible pickoff attempt, make sure that Factow does not go anywhere. Dalton Piser, the right fielder, he's a junior, hitting .337. One of the better averages on this team, has 95 at-bats, 7 doubles, 5 home runs. 2nd on the team, 4 home runs. Of course, this team having 6 for Brocado, 32 for Factow and 5 for Pizer. 31 RBIs, he's second on the team. 32 hits, 14 runs batted in. Actually, runs scored, batted in. He has 31. Very impressive from the lefty. He is the lone left-handed batter. As you can see, if the lefty-on-lefty matchup does anything, of course, having quite a bit of power with those 5 home runs. Wanting to play him deep, we see Carson Chavy's out in right field, playing significantly deeper than any of the other Bulldog outfielders. Frierson playing out more towards right center. Not a shift, but definitely knowing who they are up against. Hit by pitch, definitely something that Poindexter wants to get out of his system. He's had really great control all season long. He's only walked 12 in all of his starts this season. Of course, striking out 20 on the year. Definitely feel the impact of that 12-mile-an-hour wind. Last night here in Jackson, we looked out of the residential living places here on Union's campus. It looked like we were living in a tsunami. That one is fouled back. There was a waterfall seeming to come off of every balcony in the quads here on Union's campus. Impressive display of wind and water last night. Glad to see that nobody here on campus was injured. Nothing was really damaged. Surprising that all of the shingles stayed in place. Union replaced a lot of the shingles after the early windstorm we had about a month ago. A lot of the quads were underwater last night. Of course, all of the grass turning into a pond, which makes this field very impressive. Walking up to the Fez today, of course, very squishy. The ground is pretty dirty and mushy this morning, but the field is looking to do pretty good. We haven't seen any ground balls yet, aside from one little dribbler on the right side by Alec Hardy in the first, but that was mostly on the grass. Nothing has really reached the clay yet. Before the game, they were out throwing bags of clay on top of it, making sure that there is fresh clay. We expect them to do that more and more throughout the remainder of the series this weekend. When you gotta water it down some more, make sure that everything is ready to go. It means you have a very good grounds crew. Of course, if you look around, and a lot of the grass around the Fez is still kind of that tannish color, but the field is beautiful today. The bright green, the lines mowed in it. Big props out here to the groundskeeper, as that's going to be a walk issued to Pizer. So Factow goes over to second base, Pizer at first. Neither of them are earned, and we're going to have a quick meeting at the mound. Coach Casey going to talk to his left-handed pitcher, Poindexter, leaning over. Hopefully everything is okay with his arm. Just want to check control. Not something we're used to seeing in Poindexter. Always one that's dialed in right off the start. Had a lot of time to warm up, of course, seeing that this is the first game of the 2-game doubleheader. Don't forget to join us this afternoon at about 4 o'clock. We'll do the second game as well. So we'll do a 9-inning game here in the first one, a 7-inning game, and then, of course, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we'll finish out the series. Hopefully Bulldogs have a couple wins under their belt by that time, as they try to scrap their way back into the win column. Siski's going to stay out there at the mound, help make sure that the dirt behind the rubber is all issued in, digging his cleats in. Of course, the Bulldog third baseman playing inside on the grass, possibly protecting a move him over bunt. We see Sisk over there at third, really shifting his body, a lot of his weight on that right foot, possibly in case there has to be a ground ball bunt, which they are expecting. Interesting play there by Poindexter. Now, Poindexter turned around and threw it to second base, but we could see in the arms of the catcher McDaniel at the plate, of course, give a little bend in him. He did a little jump move. Of course, the catcher now, Canyon Pace, coming out to alert the infield of a possible bunt situation. It really looked like McDaniel was getting ready to bunt, and as soon as he looked like he was going to show the springs in his knees, Poindexter turned around to look towards second. So we'll see if he tries it again here. Definitely not a full windup. He is going to show bunt. He's not going to get it in time. Incredibly expected there. McDaniel having absolutely no load up there at the plate in his stance. He's going to look over his third base coach, see if they want him to do it again. That was upstairs. Good placement there by Poindexter, expecting the bunt, throwing it up in the zone, hoping for a little bit of contact, which might pop it up in the infield, get an easy out, maybe even a double play. So I like the move there by Poindexter. Good setup by Canyon. Canyon dropping lower in the zone this time. So Poindexter's going to check around, doing a little around the horn with his runners on here in the top of the second. Poindexter continuing to go from the stretch. He's going to step off. McDaniel looking over to his dugout, not really sure what he's talking to them about. Once again, showing bunt. He's going to drop it on the first base side. Ross is ready for it. Throws it back to the second baseman, Hardy, and they're going to take the easy out over at first. On that play, running to second base with his Pizer. He hit the bag weird on his right ankle. Jumped up there at second base. Hope everything is okay. They're going to check him out, and he is going to be good. But McDaniel does exactly what he needs to do. Moves Factile over to third base. Pizer now goes to second. That's going to be a sac bunt credited to McDaniel. First out of the inning, moving over infield in. That's going to be popped up on the right side. Ross is going to be running back. He's going to see it in the sun. Over there by the turtle, he makes the grab. Is going to make a throw to play. No, the runner's not going to go. On that throw to the plate, Canyon Pace is ready for it. Great throw there by Grant Ross, the first baseman, trying to hold that runner. So Brown only sees one pitch. He flies out for the second out of the inning. Great awareness there by the catcher, Canyon Pace, trying to say, hey, throw it home. We're ready for it. Of course, Pizer at second and Factile over at third. He was the one that faked the run over to home as we get to see the man in the 8 hole, Tate Gentleman, the second baseman, sophomore, batting .286 on the season. He's only played in 4 games. This is his first start of the year. He has 7 at-bats recorded this year, 1 run scored, 2 hits. Filling in today for the Bucks. See, back to the windup is Poindexter. Running home on every play is Mitch Sisk, ready for a possible play at the plate. With the runners on first and second, we saw Poindexter exclusively throw from the stretch. Now he's shifted over to the windup. You see that as a left-handed pitcher with his back to the runners there at second and third. Sisk making sure that there's a possible play at the plate. He's ready to charge home, a bunt. A weird situation the gentleman try to do. He has 2 RBIs on the season, a slugging percentage of .429. He's walked once and struck out once so far this year. So a rough start to the inning with the hit by pitch and the walk, but quickly recovering. Getting 2 outs on the board as that one is fouled directly back. Gentleman really wanted a piece of that, clearly frustrated after stepping out of the box. He was just underneath. A great fastball there by Poindexter. Frierson and Swanson, the center fielder and left fielder respectively, even playing towards the right side on these right-handed batters. Interesting to see that today. You usually see them play more towards left field. Frierson knowing the impact of that 12-mile-an-hour east wind today here at the Fez. He's playing about 20 feet to the right of the 390 sign out in dead center. Great awareness there by the Bulldog outfielders. And that's going to be hit down the left field line. Swanson's going to run over. It's going to be foul. Bulldogs really lucking out on that one. Of course, we just mentioned that Swanson was positioned more towards left center field than he was true left. If you get anything over the head of Sisk, we'll see if the outfield changes their stances on this as they see the full count. The money delivery pitch. You see Pizer leading off about 150 feet and going down swinging is Gentleman. So Gentleman swings out on a big can of whipped cream. That's going to do it for the Bucks in the top of the second inning. We'll see you in the bottom of the inning, 0-0. We'll be right back with you.
Important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way, peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Grayson Swanson getting his second attempt at the plate already in this game. Of course, the first inning ending with Carson Chavies getting busted for stealing. He got the single, the one hit so far in this game. Carson tried to get another free bag. Ran over to second base, was thrown out by McDaniel to end the inning. And that's going to be hit over, sniped there by the third baseman. What a great grab there by Brown, as Swanson is robbed of at least a double. That would have snuck down the line. Really great grab there on the line drive. Great play there by the third baseman, Brown. So Swanson heads back to the dugout. Mitch Sisk is going to be the next batter. Sisk so far in the season has had a great impact for the Bulldogs, transferring into Union this year from Jackson State Community College. Sisk batting .262 on the season, has 42 at-bats, 11 hits, 8 runs, a double, a home run, and leading the team in RBIs with 11 swings right through that one. Sleeper continues to take his role on the mound. Here's a delivery. It's going to be popped off the hands over towards the right field bullpen. Sisk getting that one absolutely opposite field. Would have snuck past the first baseman, Brocado. Everybody needs a good Brocado in their life. So Sisk with the windup. Had a great series against Delta State last weekend. Pops that one back. Sisk on the season. So he has the 11 hits on 8 runs. Made an incredible impact, of course, being a member of Trinity Christian Academy. Right down the road is where he graduated. Was part of that 2019 runner-up state team out of Jackson. That's going to be popped back. And here's the delivery. In the dirt. Sisk has been a very reliable member of this Bulldog staff so far this season. Of course, being able to pitch, hit, play, and on that one, strike out swinging. We see the second lefty in the Bulldog lineup. To see a beautiful day here in Jackson. This is the most fans we've had all season, as people continue to file into Fesmeyer Field in the stands here. Lots of the Union students filing in, parents, grandparents, aunt, uncles, cousins. Everybody here today joining us for this doubleheader. Of course, softball having some fans on the other side as well. I think they're going to get the grills ready about 3:30 this afternoon. Fans definitely looking forward to the free burgers and hot dogs. See how many fans that brings in later this afternoon. It's really turned into a beautiful day. We're seeing a lot of sunshine out there. Of course, the outfielders, Folks and Pizer out in center and right field. They're doing a lot of work out there to make sure that the clouds are always moving. Many of them wearing sunglasses. Sun directly above our booth here in the Fesmeyer press box. Clouds are moving really quickly. We see it go from left field to right field. A couple of pitches. And ever-changing sunshine. It's going to be a dribbler down. Dropped and bobbled by Brown. He made a great play earlier in the inning. It's going to be a hit there for Grant Ross. No way that he would have been able to make the throw even if he had fielded a great dig and a stop there by Brown to save an extra base. But Ross is going to get on. The Bulldogs have a 2-out rally going as Blake Barrett, the man with power stick, steps up to the plate. Barrett, the designated hitter for the Bulldogs in this game, likes to switch off between DH and first base. Umpire giving a signal. They say we're good to go. Barrett towering over the umpire at home. Even him with a bend in his knees is still taller than them combined. Great little curveball there by the pitcher Sleeper. Freshman getting his 9th start of the season. So Brown was the man of the hour at the beginning of the inning. Slipped up a little bit there. Bulldogs have 2 hits so far in this game. Like we said before the game, we expect this to be a very high-scoring offensive game. Of course, hopefully Poindexter can slam the door on runs. Both of these teams have consistently put up 9, 10, 11 runs, even though they've been falling the bullpens being their Achilles heel so far in the season. We'll see in this 3-game series this weekend how long Coach Casey's going to leave his guys in. Of course, we had that tough game a couple weeks ago where Evans started, was pulled pretty quickly to get him some rest, and then the bullpen came in and wasn't able to get the job done. Barrett takes that one down low. Blake Barrett, one of 3 seniors, actually 4 seniors, excuse me, because Trey Frierson is using his 5th year of eligibility. So Blake Barrett hitting .211 on the season, 38 at-bats, 8 hits and 3 runs, 3 doubles, and 2 RBIs. He is going to make his way over to first base, giving the Bulldogs 2 runners on first time as he is hit by the pitch. Bulldogs looking for creative ways to keep the line moving. Canyon Pace, the Union legacy, is going to fill in here at the plate. We're going to have a brief meeting of the mound. I'll be right back with you in about 10 seconds. Canyon Pace next up to bat here for the Bulldogs. Canyon, of course, typically finding the role as the number 2 catcher so far for the Bulldogs. Ben Smith has been the primary defensive man behind the plate for the Bulldogs most of the season, but Canyon Pace has really got his bat going as a freshman. He's got 7 hits, 5 runs in his 32 at-bats, hitting .219. Takes a big hack at that one. Umpire's going to ring him up, say that he does go. He's got 1 RBI on the season, a slugging percentage as well with .219. Been hit by a pitch 1 time, struck out 8 times. That's Blake Barrett's 6th hit by pitch so far this season. As Canyon swings through that one. Coach Casey's going to come out. He's going to say, run through it, hit through it. A softball almost took out some fans there. A softball was just hit over the press booth. A lot of fans jumping. They looked terrified there. Unexpected heads up there would have been nice. Of course, a foul ball. That's the danger of playing a couple games at once here at Fez. Because behind us we got softball. In front of us we got baseball. But one of those slips over the press booth. Creates a dangerous situation, especially for unsuspecting fans. Thankfully, everybody's okay on that. The softball is going to be returned. And Canyon Pace is going to go down swinging. But not before the Bulldogs get another hit. Great hit there by Grant Ross. We go to the bottom. We go to the top of the 3rd. This game's moving quickly here in Jackson. It's 1:35, and we'll be right back with you. 0-0 at the Fez.
Chip DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at 3-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at 3-Way.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
We're back with you as we get to see another inning of work here by Sam Poindexter. During that inning, we saw Jack Rasmussen and Ryan Middleton head over towards the field house, possibly getting ready. A couple guys heading out towards the Bulldog bullpen. They're pretty confident in their starter here. Of course, Poindexter not giving up any hits so far. He started the inning off last time with a hit by pitch to Fakhtar and a walk to Pfizer. Great grab there by Netterville. Over to first, not going to be in time. That's going to be the first hit for the Bucks in this game with their 9-hole. Matthews gets a single. Great little dig there by Netterville. Netterville had a clean field on that, but man, just couldn't launch it over there in time to get the out. So we're back to the top of the lineup for the Bucks, getting to see Poindexter for the second time. Jarrett Folks, the senior, flew out on the right side to Grant Ross in the first inning. Folks hitting .254 on the season, 115 at-bats, 29 hits, 27 runs, 18 RBIs on the year. Really reliable guy there leading off for Christian Brothers. It's one of the things that we think is really interesting here up in the booth is finding and dialing in the starting lineup. Of course, we got to see it switch around quite a bit at the beginning of the season. Different guys like Swanson leading off, Blake Barrett leading off, but they've really found their stride. Netterville has become the leadoff guy. Hardy jumping into the 2-hole, and then Chavy, Swanson, of course, both two great reliable hitters with lots of power in the 3 and 4. Christian Brothers really just trying to get their pitching under control. Of course, coming into this game with the 5-game losing streak, something you want to eliminate today. Big swing and a miss there by Folks. A bit of game recap here from the Buccaneers game against Ouachita Baptist. They were in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, of course. They lost 12-4 on Wednesday. They were up 3-2 after 3.5 innings, but the Tigers came back, scored 4 in the 4th and in the 5th to help earn the win. Bulldogs looking to do the same thing today. Of course, we've seen the Christian Brothers Buccaneers find themselves up early in a lot of games, including that game against Bethel earlier in the week where they were up by 9 and then the bullpen came in and wasn't able to do it. Gentleman, who we see in the 8th hole, of course, today, getting his first RBIs earlier this week. His 2 hits were also his career first. He has got that spot once again today.
Batting now number 20, Fallon Rose.
That's going to be hit out towards left field. Running in is going to be Swanson. It's going to drop in front of him. A little 2-hopper. He's going to throw it back into Netterville. And back-to-back singles to lead off the top of the 3rd inning. So Matthews is going to make his way to second. Folks, of course, at first. As they have started to figure out their release point, the control, and all the tricks of Sam Poindexter. He's trying to get that under control, of course. Really doing a great job already in this game. Charlie Faro, the shortstop, going to do a little dribbler, throw it over to third, and he's going to be safe at third, and the bases are going to be loaded. Great play there. Great decision making there at the plate by the Buccaneers. Faro. Willingness to be able to have that speed. They are going to say that is going to be credited as a single. So a possible attempt that they were expecting there. So Matthews now at third. Folks at second. Faro at first. Bases loaded. No outs. Brocado is the batter. Fouls that one in off the hands. Netterville and Hardy both playing really close to the runner. That's Folks there at second. Sisk ready for anything at the plate. They know that any ground ball is going to go home and then over to first. It's good decision making though. Now they're going to say it was a fielder's choice, even though the out was not recorded. They gave it a sacrifice bunt fielder's choice situation, even though no outs were recorded. Faro doing exactly what he needed to do to bring up Brocado. Brocado in the first inning, hit into a 5-3 ground out to third base, and that's going to hit him there on the leg. One run is going to come around to score, and Poindexter turns his head, puts it down. They're going to come out, give the umpire a few more balls, take a big fresh breath of air. Not what you want to do if you're the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs. So Matthew comes around to score on that one, the first run of the game. Folks making his way over to third, Faro to second, and hit by the pitch is Brocado with the cleanup hitter stepping into the box. Facto was hit by a pitch in the second inning, was left stranded at third, and swings right through that one. A really, really big rip. Fastball down the middle by Poindexter. The runners are definitely being really aggressive. We got to see on the last at-bat, Faro, who was at first base, and of course Folks, who was at second, running about 8 or 9 steps. That's going to be the back-to-back hit by pitch. Poindexter's going to look over to the dugout. Really unusual day here for Poindexter, only in the third inning. Folks comes home to score. 2 hit by pitch, 2-run score. That's the third hit by pitch of the game. Of course, Poindexter only hitting 2 before this game. Faro goes to third, Brocado now at second, Facta at first. This game popped up on the left side, not going to get there in time. Running out of room. Pizer walked in the second inning. Was left stranded at second base, of course, on the strikeout by Gentleman. Lots of power there by the lefty. The only left-handed hitter in this lineup. That's going to popped out towards the left side. Once again, another opposite field hit. We see the outfielders Frierson and Chavies playing depthfully out in center and right field, knowing that there's a lot of power from the left fielder Pizer at the plate. Definitely going to want to keep something on the ground here if you're Poindexter with no outs. Try to get something to roll up, double play. On that pitch, great framing there by Kenyon Pace, hoping to poke something towards the left side where you can step on the bag, go home. All kinds of options here for the Bulldogs. Infield playing really closely in except for Alec Hardy. See Ross and Netterville basically on the grass, Sisk a few feet in. Protecting any play at the plate, saving a run. Kenyon Pace consistently setting up low in the zone, trying to get the batter to hit the top part of the ball, knocking it into the grass is what the goal is here if you're the Bulldogs. Back to the stretch is Poindexter. Interesting to see him go back and forth between the stretch and the windup. When he had runners on first and second, he was consistently throwing from the stretch, and then he switched over to the windup when he had second and third. So his bases loaded situation, of course, is going to be from the stretch. Pace came out, gave the infield their instructions. This can be lined down the right field line. One of the Buccaneers reserve players running out to grab the ball out there in right field. Hat comes flying off. We're going to take a moment of pause here. A breath of air. Poindexter really trying to finish him off here with a full count. No outs, of course. Netterville standing right next to the umpire there at shortstop. Plenty of things can happen. Here's the pitch. They're going to say strike 3. They rung him up. He expected to have a free trip on his yacht down to first base, and instead he's heading back with a big K. Coach Casey coming out telling Hardy and Netterville to switch who's going to cover. Netterville's going to drop back a few more feet. Good play calling there as the Bulldogs get their first out of the inning on the strikeout to Pizer. That one was really close. Could have seen that go both ways for sure as the catcher McDaniel steps up to the plate. He hit the sac bunt in the second inning to move Facta and Pizer over. And he's going to hit that to the third baseman. Ground assist. He steps on third, throws it over to first. It's going to be a double play. Great play there by Mitch Sisk, the third baseman. Great heads-up thinking. It's a 5-3 double play, and the Bulldogs get out of more damage. They do give up 2 on the hit by pitch, but they get out of it without giving up any more runs. Bulldogs find themselves down by 2. It's 2-0 here in Jackson. We'll be right back with you in the bottom of the third inning.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Trey Frierson, the 9-hole, getting his first at-bat of the game against Sleeper. Sleeper's gone 2 innings, 34 pitches in this game, giving up only 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Great off-speed there in there for Trey Frierson. Trey Frierson, the center fielder, great defensive awareness, struggled a little bit more at the plate than his previous few seasons with the Bulldogs. He's got the 9th best average here in the starting lineup today. He's batting .161 as it started 12 games, 31 at-bats, 5 hits, 6 runs, a double, 1 triple, and 6 RBIs. Quite a bit of speed. Interesting to see him continue to be in the 8 and 9 holes for the Bulldogs. They're really trying to get him on base, of course, for the power hitters at the top of the lineup like Chavies and Netterville to try to bring him home. As he starts off his plate appearance with a 3-0 count, exactly what he wants to do. Takes that one right down the middle, no green light. Brown, the third baseman, playing pretty shallow with the speed of Frierson. Known for stealing bases and ripping off ones he shouldn't as he pops that one out towards right field. Pizer is going to run in underneath it, move a couple steps, and retire Frierson. Great to see the Bulldogs get that double play to end that top of the 3rd inning. We've been in those situations time and time again this season, it feels like, as Bulldog fans, where the bases are loaded and it's, oh man, it's close, it's back and forth. Are we going to get him? And usually it ends with a weird situation. Of course, we saw the 2 hit by pitch, but very great pitching there by Poindexter to make sure that the ball was low in the zone to get that roll 'em up double play. Bulldogs trying to answer back here in the bottom of the 3rd. We do see some action out in left field. I do wonder, that's probably Jack and Ryan Middleton. Interesting to see if they bring in Middleton first. That's what they've consistently done throughout the season. About a week and a half ago, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we saw Middleton come out in a relief attempt, actually get injured during his warm-up, unable to pitch, and then Jack came in. So good to see Ryan Middleton back. He's healthy. His arm is looking a lot better. He's feeling great. We might possibly see him come in relief as the first one out of the Bulldog bullpen. Stands are really filling in here in the middle 2 sections. The left section, of course, being close to full. A lot of them aren't actually the Union students here, as that one is fouled off of the glass pane here in the press booth. We expect to see quite a few more students roll up about 3:30 this afternoon. Big swing and a miss there. They're going to throw it over. They're going to call out Netterville. The drop 3rd strike. Netterville thought that he could get the advancement on it. He was not able to. Everything is reset, and the Bucks have 2 outs here in the 3rd. Alec Hardy, quite a bit of speed and agility here. We've seen him get a couple doubles on the season so far. Hardy this year has 6 hits, 3 runs, 27 at-bats, hitting .222. Hasn't played in as many games as some of his fellow starters today as he fouls that one towards the cars over by the field house. Parking looks to be about full here at the Fez. I haven't seen that in a while. Really good to see. Beautiful afternoon. People have begun to park in the grass over there by the field houses. The parking lot is full out towards right field. Over in left field, of course, fans filling in the side areas. They were done with the storms last night. They said, hey, it's time to get out on a Saturday and watch some baseball. Of course, the Major League starting their seasons later this week. Opening day on Thursday. The World Baseball Classic just wrapped it up as Japan took down the United States in the finale game. Really got to bring a lot of awareness to baseball. Great for the sport. Saw a lot of countries really interested in it. I read something where it said that 96% of televisions in Japan were actually turned to that finale baseball game as baseball begins to take over the spring. So you see Hardy go down swinging. Bulldogs still down by 2. We go to the 4th inning here at the Fez. leading off for the Buccaneers here in the 4th inning. We saw 7 guys hit in the 3rd, but now we get to see Brown get his chance. The third baseman had quite a bit of work over there at third base, grabbed that great line drive earlier in the 2nd inning. Of course, bobbling that one on the hit. That looks like it might go off the foot of the umpire. They're in the dirt. Delivery from Poindexter. They're keeping with him. There's quite a bit of action out there in the left field bullpen. They really narrowed it down to 1 guy warming up. They had 2 on the mound, now down to 1. It looks like it might be Middleton from here, not sure. Poindexter returns to the stretch, and a big swing and a miss there by the third baseman Brown. He also flew out to the first baseman in the 2nd inning. We'll recap what happened in the 3rd inning. It started off with a single by Matthews, and then another single there by Folks. As Brown goes down swinging. Faro had a fielder's choice, and that loaded the bases. Now we had a hit by pitch to Brocado, 1 run scored. Hit by pitch to Factel, 1 run came around to score. Then a strikeout and a double play there by Mitch Sisk to end the inning as the Bulldogs were able to minimize the damage. We're going to see Gentleman in his 2nd at-bat. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Hits that one out in a large skyscraper out towards right. Girls softball currently up 4-1. They have 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, compared to the opposing 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error to the Lady Bucks. Poindexter shaking off Canyon pace. Something interesting to see as the older pitcher wanting something different. That's probably he shakes him off 3 times, finally gets what he wants, and it's going to be hit towards the third baseman Sisk. Throws it over, and it's going to be the 2nd out of the inning quickly to Gentleman. Interesting to see him shake it off. Usually we've seen great relationships so far this season between the pitchers and the catchers knowing what they want. A little bit more experience usually in Ben Smith. Canyon, the 2nd generation Bulldog baseball player, has fit really well into this team. Bulldogs carrying 4 or 5 catchers on their roster this season, utilizing mostly Pace and Smith back and forth, knowing that the Bulldogs are going to have some great defense behind the plate for many years to come. Matthews was the man that got the 3rd inning started with the single, of course, out to left field. Came around to score on the hit by pitch. Poindexter back into the windup. Left fielder Swanson playing relatively shallow compared to where he's usually at. Usually he's about 15 feet in front of the wall. Hardy with the offhanded grab. Throws it over to first, and it's going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning. The cowbells are ringing here at the Fez. Bulldogs get out of it. And a 1-2-3 for Poindexter. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Bulldogs down 2.
Important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at 3-Way, peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in 3-Way.
Carson Chavy's firmly planting his feet in the left-handed batter's box. Third baseman Brown playing very shallow here. Chavy's in this game got the single, first hit for the Bulldogs. Of course, 1 of 2 hits for the Union team so far today. Chavy's was then caught stealing to end the bottom of the 1st inning as he hits that one off the opposite side. A bobble there by Faro. Something my dad always told me is you got to get in front of the ball. Faro tried to look pretty cool on that one, field it with a backhand, and it slipped off of his glove out towards left field. And Chavy's is going to get the inning started for the Bulldogs here. They're going to call that an error by the shortstop Faro. But the Bulldogs don't care how they get it. They got a runner on. Interesting play on that one. He was getting ready and positioning his body to make the throw before he had the ball in his glove. Just looked a little bit afraid of that smoke coming from the bat of Chavy's. Grayson Swanson, the cleanup hitter, is going to be the next one that they're going to have to face here. Not the guy you want up to the plate with the runners on. So far this season, he's second on the team in RBIs with 10. He has 2 home runs, 10 hits, and 5 runs scored. His 47 at-bats been hitting .213 so far on the season for Union. Swanson, the 6', 190-pound senior out of Greeley, Colorado, went to Oklahoma Christian University before transferring to Union. He played 3 years of baseball there, of course, in his second season with Union this year. He helped lead the Oklahoma Eagles to a conference tournament appearance, of course, was on the Lone Star honor roll all 3 years, prepped at University High School, played baseball, basketball, football, got lots of honors there as he pops it off to the right side. Now this year he was named the NCBWA preseason All-South Regional First Team member as well as the All-Gulf South Conference preseason expected member. Last year he received Player of the Week, First Team All-Region, D2 All-Region, NCBWA All-Region, played 37 games. I could go on and on of the accolades of Swanson. We're just going to let you see what he can do at the plate. Of course, the sun's shining. You see the infielder's gentleman over there at second base adjusting his hat, trying to stay out of the sun. And a big swing and a miss there by Swanson. The advantage does go to the hitter in the sun situation, especially on things such as fly balls and line drives. If you can get something up in the air, a good chance that the sun is going to be right there as it is above the Fez. Clouds on and off covering it as a great pickoff attempt there by the pitcher Sleeper. Sleeper continuing to pitch from the stretch as we see Chavies getting a generous lead over at first, a little bit tighter after the pickoff attempt. It's going to be fouled back. Swanson really looking to have his breakout stride that he had last season. Quite a few games to go this year, of course. But last year he hit .374, played in 37 games. He's already at 25 games this year for the Bulldogs. He had 52 hits last year, 31 runs, and 13 homers. 13 home runs. We got to see quite a few of those last year. Consistently getting the ball out of the park. It's fun to watch him pop in his bat. In fact, runner is going. Big swing and a miss. And here's going to be another pickoff attempt. They're going to say he's safe. Chavies does get this one, but Swanson does go down swinging. So we trade an out for a base. Stolen base there by Carson Chavies. Slipped up in the first inning, but made sure he delivered it here in the fourth. Swanson goes down swinging. That's the first out of the inning. Chavies now in scoring position. The first Bulldog of the inning to get there. Sisk. Now the batter struck out in the second inning swinging. We've seen Sisk pitch. He's hit. He can do a little bit of everything for the Bulldogs as he takes that one in for a called strike. The wind kind of coming in gusts. Another reason why I expect to see so many fans here today. Of course, it's not just brutally hot, but the sun is shining. We're about 62 degrees now here in Jackson. We mentioned before the broadcast began those tornadoes and storms that came through, fielded there by Brown, retiring Sisk. We mentioned the tornadoes, of course, Jackson being under a watch last night from about 6 o'clock to midnight. The real storms came in around 8:45 in the evening yesterday. The winds continued to blow and an enormous amount of rain quickly came to West Tennessee, but all of our hearts go out and all of our prayers go to the people of Mississippi recovering many killed and injured and displaced by the storms last night. Very thankful that they didn't come to Jackson, but we know that they did affect other communities that we would love to be in prayer for. Grant Ross, of course, the other hit in the second inning. He made his way to second base based on the hit by pitch. Gets his second plate attempt, had the single in the second. He's got a runner in scoring position this time for him. And he's up with 2 outs. Here's his delivery. He's getting popped up back over the left side. Nothing's going to happen there. Steps out, adjusts the glove. You can see there in your frame, Carson Chavies getting a significant lead. Nobody holding him very tight. Faro, the shortstop, still a little bit rattled by the fact that Chavies is out there. Game moving pretty quickly here. Already in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're only an hour into this game. The 58-minute mark, and that's going to be hit over on the left side. We had national anthem timed at 12:59, so we are right at the hour mark in this game, and we're almost through 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bucks up by 2. Bucks have 2 hits. Bulldogs have 2 hits. And we see Grant Ross, the freshman lefty, up at the plate. Here's delivery. He's going to hit that to the second baseman. Gentleman's going to field it on the left side, throw it over, and that's going to do it for the Bulldogs. But not before Chavies is able to reach on the air. Bulldogs still find themselves down by 2. No runs, no hits, 1 error here in the 4th. We take you to the 5th here in Jackson. Poindexter continuing on the mound for the Bulldogs. He's completed 4 innings, thrown 64 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Of course, the difficulty in his start today has been those 3 hit by pitches. We're going to see a bunt attempt to start off the inning, fielded by Hardy. Great quick grab over, and that's going to end the chance for another advancement by Folks, the leadoff batter, in his 3rd plate appearance for the Bucks. Great play there by Alec Hardy. We weren't really sure right off the bat if Poindexter was going to get that or if Hardy was going to get that first. But Hardy really having a solid play on that. Of course, that quick flip, something you work on so much in the infield on. Far the batter reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, of course, after the 2 singles. The throw was made by Poindexter over to third base in that 3rd inning. They gave it a fielder's choice, not a hit. Even though no out was recorded, he did end up being stranded and left. He was stranded over there at third base. Swanson with a great haul in there. Did get to see the impact of the wind on that one, of course. Swanson having a great setup there in left field. And that line drive comes to a quick conclusion as Brocado is up to the plate. Brocado was hit by a pitch that brought in the 1st run. They did give him the RBI on that. Of course, it wasn't an earned run. Neither of the runs were. Brocado's going to hit that one over the head of Mitch Sisk out into left foul territory. Jake Gale, the freshman, sprinting with every little bit of power in him to get that foul ball. Here he comes running back like Flint Lockwood out there in left field. That's going to hit to Hardy. Great grab there by the second baseman. Throws over to first. 2 incredible plays there by the junior Alec Hardy to get us out of the inning. Bulldogs go and get the 3 up, 3 down outs they were looking for. Bulldogs down by 2. We go to the 5th inning. We're hauling here in Jackson. We'll be right back with you.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, And at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bulldogs still right in this game, only down by 2. We've seen that change on one pitch multiple times this season. Blake Barrett, the batter. Remaining in this game, Jackson Sleeper, the right-handed pitcher. Now, Sleeper entered this game with a 6.82 ERA, of course getting his 9th start of the season. He's gone 4 innings, thrown 64 pitches, giving up 2 hits, struck out 5 Bulldogs on the day. Barrett, in his first plate appearance in the game, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and then, of course, was left stranded over at first base. Lots of energy here at the Fesmeyer Field today. The girls' softball is currently leading 5-2 over the Lady Bucks in this game. Great day to be a Bulldog fan. They're currently in what looks to be the bottom. It is the bottom of the 5th inning, of course, for Union University softball. Barrett, the senior, hitting .211. Started 13 games. He's had 38 at-bats, 3 doubles, 8 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs. Of course, the slugging percentage of .289, 3 walks, and 6 hit by pitches on the season as he goes down swinging. The Imperial March rings out above the loudspeakers here at the Fez. That means Canyon Pace is the batter. Takes a little check swing at that. Good framing there by the catcher, McDaniel. Pace in this game struck out in the 2nd inning. Hasn't returned to the plate since getting his 2nd plate appearance. Big swing and a miss there by Canyon. Canyon catching in this game has made some great defensive plays there at the plate. Of course, framing really great pitches. Still no action out there in the left field bullpen. They've really trusted that Poindexter has settled into his role as the starter. Poindexter has thrown 71 pitches. Sleeper is about to throw his 71st. They're pretty even in this game so far. Sleeper is pretty dialed in the start and has begun to slip later in the game. Poindexter, struggling at the beginning, has now begun to dial in. So a little bit of opposites here for the 2 starting pitchers this afternoon. Pace, the freshman, hitting .219. Started 8 games, played in 13. That one's going to get away from the catcher. He's going to throw it over to first, and Pace is going to be retired on that drop. 3rd strike. Back-to-back strikeouts to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Trey Frierson, the center fielder, gets his crack at Sleeper. Flew out to right field in his first plate appearance in the 3rd inning. Sleeper from the stretch. Frierson shows bunt. Interesting. Possibly trying to give a display of his speed. You don't see a 2-out bunt with no runners on. See if he tries it again here with the 1-0 count. He does not. Frierson, one of the true veterans on this Bulldog staff. Takes that one inside on the hands. The 6'1", 190-pound senior at Kent, Mississippi, went to Copiah Lincoln Community College before coming to Union. Spent 2 years there, played baseball for a season as a freshman, actually led the MACJC with a .428 batting average. He's definitely struggled a little bit more at the plate, but he is going to reach on the walk. Bulldogs have their first runner on here in the 5th inning, and we're back to the top of the lineup in Britt Netterville. Netterville on our rosters and consistently throughout this season has really been a right-handed batter, but he's switched over to the left side especially against the right-handed pitcher combination with the 12-mile-an-hour wind out towards right. Of course, it's not as strong as when we started the game earlier in the day. Currently, we're now up to 65 degrees. Of course, started at 61. The wind is now down to 10 miles an hour, going more southeast than anything else. We're going to have a quick meeting at the mound. Christian Brothers so far this season have really struggled in the Gulf South Conference. They're currently only at 2 wins, 13 losses in conference play on the year. Netterville, the senior out of Centerville, Mississippi, Southwest Mississippi Community College, played baseball, spent time a little bit there at Louisiana Tech University, went to Centerville Academy, played 3 years of football, 4 years of baseball, 4 years of track before the Southwest Mississippi Community College. Also is a little bit of a golfer. He used to golf a little bit, played all 4 years of golf in high school, led the football team to a state title, named the Dandy Dozen in baseball. 3-year member of the Bulldog team. Led the team in 2021 with a 3.24 batting average, 45 hits. Great career statistics for the Bulldogs. He hit, of course, a 3.24 average in 2021, 3.14 in 2022, and runner is going as it's popped up in the infield. Fryerson's taken off. He's already at second base standing there. The catcher slips behind the bag and actually does haul it in. Very dangerous play there. It looked like he slipped his knees there on the grass. That's the first notice of anything different in this clay and grass after the winter storms. But McDaniel's able to haul it in. Netterville's retired, and we go to the 6th inning.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Fact out, excuse me. The batter getting his 3rd plate appearance here against Poindexter. He's been hit by a pitch both times as he lines that one towards the left field bullpen. Out of play. He was left stranded at 3rd in the 2nd inning, stranded at 1st in the 3rd, and has not had a plate appearance since then. Here in the 6th inning, Sam Poindexter, who's really begun to dial in his work, has gone 8 straight batters without anybody getting on base. Really getting dialed in. The control has now been found out. He's gotten better as the game has progressed. Poindexter, of course, out of Collierville High School. One of the few guys on this Bulldog starting rotation. He spent his entire career with Union. As a freshman, he had a 7.78 ERA. He appeared in 11 games, had 1 win, and then really found his stride last year. 5.93 ERA, got 4 wins, 2 losses, appeared in 13 games, started 6 of them, getting his first career start as that's going to hit towards the triangle, running over. Swanson's going to call off Frierson out there in left. Couple wind gusts definitely picking up here in Jackson, and we're going to see the right fielder Pizer get his 3rd plate appearance as well. Pizer in the 2nd inning walked, was left stranded at 2nd, struck out in the 3rd inning. Giving you the rundown there on Poindexter's career stats with the Bulldogs. This season he has a 3.37 ERA, starting in his 8th game today. He's 3-3 on the year. Of course, has the extra year of eligibility. We'll see if he returns to the Bulldog staff next year, as that ball is going to be popped up, running over his Canyon Pace, the catcher, and he is going to haul it in, much to the excitement of the fans here at the Fez. couple pop-ups so far on the day by both catchers. We've got to see McDaniels hauling a few behind the plate as well as Canyon Pace. McDaniel actually the hitter now. He had the sacrifice bunt. He's really been a team player in this game. Sacrifice bunt in the second inning to move over Factau and Pizer. And then he actually hit into that inning-ending double play in the third inning. That inning-ending double play was a great play there by Mitch Sisk, who was able to step on the bag and protect from the Bucks blowing this game out. That's going to be off of the glove of Grant Ross, the first baseman, out towards right field. Ross frustrated, weird hop here as he's going to go for two. The throw from Chavy's not going to be in time, over the head of the shortstop and hauled in by the third baseman. So he advances on the throw. But for the first time in 3 innings, the Bucks have a runner in scoring position. We'll see how they credit that. I was going to say it was probably a single. They are going to credit him with a double, the first extra base hit of this game by either team. Definitely a weird play over there. Difficult position there for Ross, of course, trying to get the weird hopper over there at first. Bounced up and off. Chavy's not expecting to have to do anything on that play. Brown in the second inning flew out towards the first baseman. In the fourth inning, he struck out swinging. Getting to see Poindexter for a third time. They've actually ended the action in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Now, the Buccaneers are warming up a couple guys out there in right field. But during the third and fourth innings, you saw a lot of action over there for the Union pitching staff. Looked like Rasmussen and Middleton are both warming up, but they said, hey, Poindexter, he's starting to find his groove in this game. Exactly what he has done. That's going to be hit towards Interville. They're going to say it's a fair play, throw it over to first, and that's going to do it. A 6-3 put out to end the inning. No interference on the play. We go to the bottom of the sixth here in Jackson. Bulldogs still down by 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We'll see you here in a few seconds. Even with action in the Buccaneer bullpen, they're going to continue using their starting pitcher, Sleeper. Both Poindexter and Sleeper have reached their quality starts. Sleeper's gone 5 innings, and Poindexter's gone 6, of course. Sleeper at 82 pitches in the game, only giving up 2 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts, as we get to see the second baseman for the Bulldogs, Alec Hardy, get his 3rd plate appearance. In the first inning, he grounded out to second base. In the third, he struck out swinging. He's had an unbelievable day at second base. He's had a couple of really great plays on the run, good throws. Looking to get the bat started as well here from Wiggins, Mississippi. Graduated from Stone High School, went to Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, of course, coming with the new Bulldog assistant coach Riley Self. They came as a little bit of a package combo. He played 3 seasons in Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. I've gotten to know Alec. He's actually my next door neighbor. Great dude. It's a great time talking to him, getting really involved here in the Union community as he pops that one up on the first base side, running over is Brocado, the first baseman, leaning into the dugout, runs out of room by about 1 or 2 feet. Very well-rounded athlete. Played all 4 years of baseball, 2 years of soccer in high school. Actually led his team to a 5A soccer state championship, studying exercise science here during his time at Union. Big swing and a miss is going to strike him out for the second time today. Well, with the walk-up song, we hear the Union Bulldogs hit leader, the run leader, the double leader, and Carson Chavy's the sophomore leading statistically in basically everything. Of course, he's got the best batting average on the team with .327. He's got the single in the first inning. He tried to steal twice. Was successful once and didn't get it the second. He chops that one over to second base. Great throw by Gentleman. Chavies goes down after seeing only one pitch. Interesting to see the little floater in that wind. Really got that off the hands. Just like that, there's 2 up, 2 down. And here comes the top dog, Grayson Swanson. Of course, receiving the most influential Bulldog medal last year for the baseball program. Delivery to him is going to be a little bit out to the side. Swanson in this game is grounded out to third. Actually flew out to third, struck out in the 4th inning. That ground out took place in the 2nd, his 3rd plate appearance here today. There still is a little bit of action out there. So they've got one guy doing some stretches out in the right field bullpen. No action for the Bulldogs. Looks like we're going to see Poindexter come out again. It's going to be fouled off in the hands. Good grab there by Coach Casey. After that Trevecca game, it was a really difficult situation. Bulldogs are right in it. It looked like they had it for a while, and they slipped, and they had it. They were right back in it. 1-run game, had a rally, brought in some relief pitching, and the game began to unfold. That's going to be hit out. It's going to be a hit for Grayson. He's looking to. He's going to push it. He's going to go to second base. He's going to get there in time. It's going to be a double. Really aggressive base running. He throws it up. There's the bomb. It explodes. The boys go crazy there in the third base dugout. Great hit there by Grayson Swanson. We got to see about 10 steps into his run towards first base. He knew he won a double. Definitely a close situation. Gentleman and Faro taking the throw, but there was no rush out there by the outfielders to get that ball in, and Swanson was able to rip off an extra bag as it looks like we may go to the bullpen. We are for the first time in this game. So the Bulldogs had their first runner in scoring position in a couple of innings. The first extra base hit, and we're going to take it to a brief, quick moment of pause here in Jackson. Bulldogs look to strike with 2 outs here. We're going to see Sisk at the plate in a moment.
Now on the mound for the Bucks, number 5, Travis Cole.
We go to our first pitching change of the game by either team as Jackson Sleeper, the freshman, received his quality start. He's done after 93 pitches, 5 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, and struck out a very impressive 8. That brings him to have 41 strikeouts on the season. We're going to get to see the veteran for the Bucks, Travis Cole. 185-pound senior from Tucson, Arizona. Graduated from Saguaro High School as the first one. Thrown to Mitch Siskman. He launched out towards center field. Running back is Folk on the track, and he hauls it in. One pitch, one out, and that's going to do it for the Bulldogs here in the sixth. We go to the seventh inning. We'll be right back with you here in a few brief moments.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private four-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Tate Gentleman steps up to the plate for his third plate appearance of the game. Poindexter stays in, but there's about 4 or 5 Bulldogs heading out to the bullpen. A couple guys warming up. Looks like Ryan Middleton once again getting some work in there with the bands. Some short toss before warming up there in the left field bullpen. Gentleman got his first couple of hits earlier in the week. Of course, getting the start today. Fouls that one back. This is actually his first career start. Exciting to see that for the sophomore. He's played in 4 games this season. This one's his first one in the beginning lineup. He's hitting .286 on the season, has 7 at-bats. Made that 9 today, 2 hits, 1 run. In this game, he struck out swinging in the second inning, strikes out looking here for his second of the game. Only about an hour and a half into this game, and we're already deep into the 7th inning. Shaq Matthews hitting .280 on the season so far in this game. He was the first run to score for the Bucks. Of course, had the single in the third, came around to score on the hit by pitch issued to Brocado in the 4th inning. He grounded out to second base on that very impressive running play to Alec Hardy. He's going to take that one, it looks like, off of the leg. He's going to limp his way to first. And another hit by pitch issued by Poindexter in this game. Coach is going to check him out over there at first, of course. Hope Matthews is going to be okay. He's going to walk it off, take a couple of steps. They're going to issue a little bit of timeout here, make sure he's going to be able to continue this game. Leaning over, really struggling with that left leg, it looks like. Stretching it out, they're going to let him run up and down. Does a couple jogs down the right field line. But I think he's going to be all right. Gives everybody a moment of pause here. The infield split, Netterville and Hardy mirroring each other. Sisk in on the grass. We go to the top of the Bucks lineup into Folks. Folks, of course, leading off the game, flew out to the first baseman Ross in the first inning. Had a single and came around to score on the hit by pitch issued to Farktal. And in the 5th inning, he hit into a ground out to second base. That one's going to be popped up. Netterville looks like he's going to call it a shortstop. Waiting on it and hauls it in. Two outs on the inning. Of course, Matthews still over at first base on the hit by pitch. Third base coach for the Buccaneers is going to stand in the shadow of the light pole, come and give his runner all of the signals and signs. Faro, the next batter up to the plate, of course, in the 2-hole so far, flew out to right field in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice and was left stranded at third in the 3rd inning, and flew out to left field in the 5th inning. He's hit in every other inning, continuing to follow that pattern here in the 7th. As he swings through that one there by Poindexter. So far this season, Faro, the freshman, has a .349 batting average. He's second on the team. He started 19 games Of course, only having 63 at-bats. He's going to hit that one Oppo Taco out towards the field house. 22 hits, 17 runs, 11 doubles, leads the team in extra bases so far this season. Has 17 RBIs, slugging percentage of .556, walked 17 times, only behind Facto. Hits that one out towards right. The second on the team in walks, 7 strikeouts, on base percentage of .506. That is the highest of any Buccaneer this year. Definitely one of the warmest days as we finally get to feel spring. Of course, a lot of the rain that we've been receiving has cooled off many evenings, delayed a couple games. You saw the game get canceled against Trevecca earlier this week. A beautiful day for some baseball. When I went to bed last night, like I said earlier in the game, I had no idea how we were going to get the field conditions ready for this one. Tons of rain. That's going to be hit right to the third baseman, Mitch Sisk. He's going to grab it, and thankful for this beautiful day here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bulldogs down by 2. One hit can change it all. We'll be right back with you here in the bottom of the 7th as it's time to stretch at Fesmeyer Field.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Lefty on righty matchup here as Grant Ross attempts his third plate appearance of the game. We just got started into our introduction of the relief pitcher Travis Cole. When, of course, we ended very quickly on the fly out to center by Mitch Sisk to end the 6th inning. So a little bit more about Cole, of course, from Tucson, Arizona. One of the strong veterans, has spent his entire career with the Christian Brothers University Buccaneers team. In 2019, he appeared in 25 games with 24 starts, recorded a 3 RBI game against Rhodes on March 20th. That was kind of his breakout day for the Bucs. In 2020, he started pitching as that's going to be hit out towards left center gap. It's going back of the wall, and it's going to be right on the warning track. It's going to be at least 2 here for Ross as we started off with a lead-up, stand-up double for the Bulldogs as the fans who have decided to stay are going to get a show here in the 7th inning. Ross gets it started with a big double out towards left center. Bringing up Blake Barrett. A little bit more here about Travis Cole. In 2021, he pitched in 11 games, started 10 of them, had 8 strikeouts against Shorter. That was his highest of the year, and he was actually 3rd on the pitching staff for strikeouts with 33. In 2021, he also hit in quite a few games, appeared in 30 games, 28 starts, had a 3-hit game against Mississippi College. Had the career honor in 2021 of being a Gulf South Conference Academic Role Player of the Year. This season so far for the Bucs, he has a 9 ERA as Blake Barrett hits that one back into the netting. He's actually 0-5 this year. Appeared in 8 games, started 7 of them. He's shifted now towards more of a bullpen relief role after struggling early in the season with his starts. He's given up 51 hits, 34 runs, exactly what the Bulldogs want to hear. He's walked 7, struck out 38. Here's his delivery against Barrett in on the hands. They're going to call it a strike, though. It's great framing there by the catcher, McDaniel. This is anybody's game here. Tying run at the plate, of course. Ross out there in scoring position. Winning run on deck. Bulldogs not out of this one yet. Really wanting to battle, come back from a game. Haven't had a comeback win in a little bit of a few game stretch here. Casey in the dugout there on the third base side, really staying in on every pitch. Excited, staying in the game, clapping, making sure that their boys at the plate feel the energy that they're giving off. Blake Barrett in this game struck out in the 5th, was hit by a pitch and left stranded in the 2nd. As he watches that one in there for strike 3. Very frustrated there. Umpire took about a month of Sundays to call that one. The strike 3, Barrett disagrees with it, and we're going to see Canyon Pace. Actually, we're going to have what looks like a pinch hitter here in Caden Cottrell. So that's going to do it here for Canyon Pace. We're going to have a pinch hitter. Kenyon Pace is going to be replaced here in the 7th inning. Pace struck out both times. Cottrell, the catcher, we'll see if they end up actually bringing him in the pads later in this game. Harris, that runner at second. Cottrell's going to hit that right to the shortstop. He's going to grab it on his right side, throw it over. It is going to be in time. Of course, Cottrell not being the fastest Bulldog on this team, but that is going to be the second out of the inning, and a 6-3 put-out. Great play there by Faro. He tried to do the same thing where he bobbled it last time. You should see him actually field the ball this time. Frierson, the center fielder, getting a crack at Travis Cole. Still out of second base is Grant Ross. They're less and less worried about him each plate appearance. Faro, gentlemen, not holding him tightly as Frierson swings through that one. Frierson walked in the 5th inning and was left stranded at first. In the 3rd inning, he flew out to right field. On deck over there is Netterville. Bucks really trying to end the inning here and not have to worry about the dangers of the first 3 hitters for the Bulldogs. Frierson's going to get that one off the hands. First baseman is going to field it, Brocato, and that's going to do it here. And the little small rally produced by Ross's double is going to come to an end here in the bottom of the 7th. It's anybody's game. We go to the 8th inning, 2-0, Buccaneers.
Most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way, peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
We have a first defensive substitution for the Bulldogs. The question of Cottrell entering the game for Pace is who would be behind the plate, and the answer is Ben Smith. Ben Smith, the junior, we definitely expect to start the second game behind the plate. Comes into the game, and Mitch Sisk is able to get the first out of the inning, which is Brocato. Caden Cottrell, of course, one of the backup catchers, came on and ended the inning. Or actually, excuse me, didn't end the inning. He hit into the 6-3 putout for the second out of the inning. So Ben Smith, who we do expect to see as the starting catcher for the second game, is going to come on in relief. Smith last weekend against Delta State had his first career home run. Really struggled behind the plate. That's one of the reasons they put Kenyon Pace in to start this game. Pace, of course, having a great read on a lot of pitches throughout the game, and that's going to be hit out towards the gap out in right field. Running over is Chavies. He's going to haul it in just in time. The wind helped him out on that one. And very quickly, Poindexter finds himself with 2 outs in his pocket here in the 8th inning. Dalton Pizer in this game so far walked in the 2nd inning. Was left stranded at second. Of course, struck out in the 3rd inning and hit a little blooper back to the catcher. Kenyon Pace was able to haul that one in to end the inning. That's going to hit to the first baseman. It's going to be an error, it looks like, possibly off of the first baseman, Ross. Lots of chaos happening on the right side of the field, and it's going to be at least 2 bags for Pizer. He is over there. Very tough situation. Ross had a weird hop on that. I wonder if the wet clay had to do with it. But Ross turned to his side, and it bounced off of, it looked like his glove, out towards right field. Chavies didn't have to be there, but a little bit of a miscommunication by the right side of the Bulldog defense gives the Bucks a runner in scoring position for free. Daniel, the catcher, had the sac bunt in the 2nd inning. Hit into the double play in the 3rd. Had the double in the 6th inning. That one big extra base play here in the game for the Buccaneers. Matthew McDaniel has caught the entire game. The junior hitting .258 on the season, has 16 hits, 7 runs scored in his 62 at-bats. 1 extra base with a double. Of course, got the 2nd double earlier in this game. He's going to take that one right down the middle of the pipe, but they're going to say it's a ball. Didn't expect that one. Probably hear lots of commotion behind us as the softball team continues to rack up runs. get the third out over there, but they are leading 6-2 over the Lady Bucks. So good to have the girls softball team back home here. They've been playing at local high schools anywhere they're able to get a nice field, as we had some water and drainage and pipe issues earlier in the season, but they got everything fixed. The Bulldogs are home, and they are showing it as they lead back behind us 6-2. Of course, that game is being broadcast as well. Whoa, that one's going to be in on the hands. Didn't hit him, and that's a miracle there. Great dig there by Ben Smith. That's the incredible defense we see in the junior catcher for the Bulldogs. That one definitely could have been a big issue. Pizer remaining at second base. Great defense there by the Bulldog catcher to make sure no one advanced. Crazy dangerous there on that play. And they're going to ring him up. He thought that was going to be ball 4, but actually that was going to be strike 2, excuse me. Lady Bulldogs ended up actually getting the win over there. They got the W 6-2. They're going to take a 30-minute break over there on the softball field and return for the second game of the doubleheader. That's going to be hit towards the shortstop. Netterville's going to field it. He's going to throw over cleanly, got the pick, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. Great play there by the first baseman, Ross, to haul in the low throw, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bulldogs down by 2. We'll be right back here with you for some more Bulldog baseball. Looking to claw their way back into this one. They're only down by 2. All of the softball players and fans migrating over to the baseball side of Fez. Cheer on the Bulldogs in their last couple of innings here. We see Britt Netterville. We're back up to the top of the Bulldog lineup, exactly where you want to be. Netterville hasn't been able to get anything done at the plate so far in this game. Of course, he flew out to start the game to left field in the first inning. Struck out on a drop third strike, and he's going to maybe get his first hit. It's going to be hit a weird high hopper to the second baseman. In the dirt is the throw, and he's going to be safe as it's thrown away there. Brocato, the first baseman, unable to get it. It's a one hopper over there to first base, and Netterville is going to reach on the bad throw. We'll see if they credit that as a single or if they give that as a throwing error. But either way, the Bulldogs had their first runner on here in the bottom of the 8th. With Cole still on the mound, Alec Hardy is going to be the next batter up for the Bulldogs. Netterville, they do give him a single up the middle on that one. So no outs, one on. Alec Hardy in this game struck out in the 3rd and the 6th inning, and he actually grounded out in the 1st inning. Looking to get his first hit of the day just like Netterville did. The catcher McDaniel carefully eyeing that one. The fans really starting to get more and more excited as the game comes closer to the conclusion. A couple cowbells we see here today on that Netterville single. That's possibly the loudest we've seen the Fez all season long. Great to see that. Of course, more people coming for a cookout for the second game of this doubleheader. So girls get the win in the first one. Guys looking to get one here as well. Cole from the stretch. The third baseman, Brown, playing in on the inside grass, waiting for a possible bunt attempt from Hardy. Not something I really expect, especially since the Bulldogs need 2 to get back in this game. But it's been a clean frame of zeros here in this game, something I didn't expect. I expected to see a lot of runs up on the board. Of course, both teams throwing an ace to those 2 runs put up by the Bucks in the top of the 3rd inning are the only scores in the game. with a decent lead over there at first. Of course, Brocado ready for a possible pickoff attempt. And there goes Netterville. He's going to be running out towards. He's going to stop, make sure. We'll see Pizer going back towards the track, makes the throw, or actually makes the catch, and now is going to throw it in. Netterville will make his way back to first base as Hardy is retired. Netterville looked like he was going. There was a hit and run situation there as he took off full sprint towards second base. What a great play out there by the Buck right fielder as the best statistical hitter in the Bulldog lineup steps up to the box right now in Carson Chavies. Carson in this game led off the game with a single, was then caught stealing in the first inning. Now in the fourth inning, he reached and actually stole the base that he was looking to get on his single. In the sixth inning, of course, he grounded out to second base. He now gets his fourth plate appearance in this game. Chavies is one of those guys that joined this team last year as a freshman, straight out of high school. Something we see a lot of players, they'll do their 2 years of community college and then they'll transfer in, but they sniped up Chavies, made an immediate impact, earned his role as an everyday starter for the Bulldogs. He's currently leading the team in basically every hitting statistic, hitting .327 on the season in his 15 games. He started every single game so far this season. It's 49 at-bats, 16 hits, 13 runs. Here's delivery to Chavy, runners going. Throw down at Netterville, not going to be in time. He said he didn't come off. It actually slips out of the glove of the shortstop Faro there at second base. That's got to be a stolen base there by Britt Netterville. First runner in scoring position for a while for the Bulldogs. An exciting chance to get in here. Here's a delivery. In there, called strike. Chavies is a freshman, hit .333, played in 29 games. Very impressive at the plate for a freshman. Of course, 87 at-bats, 21 runs, 29 hits last year, had 2 doubles, 13 RBIs in his debut season with the Bulldogs. Of course, having the great fielding out there in right field. That one's going to be a little bit of chaos there at shortstop, but he is going to get him in time, but he's going to move his runner over. Netterville over at third base is the farthest the Bulldogs have gotten somebody offensively in this game, as Chavies is retired. Netterville taken off to third base, create a little bit of commotion for the shortstop Faro. The top dog, Grayson Swanson, is going to try to keep this rally alive here in the bottom of the 8th inning. In this game, he had the double. Great to see him get that big, powerful double there in the 6th inning. Was left stranded, of course, by the flyout with Mitch Sisk. He struck out in the 4th inning and popped out to, or actually that was the line drive in the 2nd inning to Brown over there at third base. 1 for 3 on the day is Swanson. He's going to give us a couple of windmills there at the plate. He's going to take that one in on the shoulders. Swanee so far this season is hitting .241, played in 25 games, 83 at-bats, 20 hits, 9 runs scored, has 2 doubles, 2 home runs, a triple, 13 RBIs on the season. He's walked 10 times, hit by a pitch 4 times, and has struck out 30 times. 1 ball, 2 strike count, infield, back and deep, and that's going to be popped back over the section here. Cole from the stretch looks over, noticing that he's still got Netterville over there. Third, Bulldogs really trying to score at least one run here in the 8th to cut the lead in half. The ideal is to take the lead and not have to worry about hitting again, but of course we'll see if the Bulldogs bring in a closer or if they leave in Poindexter. Poindexter's had a great game so far for Union. Come down to the coaching decision that Coach Casey McGee, his first season with the Bulldogs. That one's going to be upstairs. So what we were saying earlier is that that really story we never got to finish about Trevecca. A really tough game. The Bulldogs are right back in it. But after the game, Coach Casey was really having tough conversations with his players and really speaking about the family aspect of this team. So there's a lot of guys playing for themselves, and that all really try to change. And we got to see a little bit more of that dynamic. Even today, we've seen a change. And just the whole demeanor of the team. Coach Casey really focused on playing as one unit, not playing as Grayson Swanson or Alec Hardy or Carson Chavies, but really playing as a Union Bulldog. And they are one team, right? And so Coach Casey, of course, having many seasons in the Nippon Professional League over in Japan, quite a few seasons, actually got the National League Comeback Player of the Year in the major leagues, knows what it's like to be part of a team. And that team just struck out. We're going to the top of the 9th here in Jackson. Bulldogs still down 2. We'll see who the closer is for Union.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Here we go to the final hours at Fesmeyer Field here in the 9th inning. Leading off for the Bucks is the third baseman, Brown. In this game, in the 2nd inning, of course, he had that little pop out over to the first baseman, Grant Ross. In the 4th inning, he struck out swinging. In the 6th inning, he grounded out to shortstop. And he's going to take a quick cut at that. They're leaving Poindexter in. Interesting decision here not to use the closer. They're trying to see if he can get back-to-back complete games. Of course, he had the complete game last week against Delta State in the 2-1 loss. It was a really close game, and it was actually a 2-out rally a 2-run rally in the 9th that gave the Delta State team a victory over the Bulldogs. Poindexter looking to really close the door, slam the door today. They have a couple guys warming up in the left field in case anything is becoming a worry or a stressor for this pitching staff. They are ready to try to slam the door, stay in this game, and hopefully get the bats going in the bottom of the 9th. In the bottom of the 9th, the Bulldogs are going to have Sisk, Ross, and Barrett up. 2 guys with power, and of course the lefty, who's already got a pair of hits today, and Grant Ross. Pretty good if you're the Bulldogs. That's kind of the guys you want up statistically. In the middle of the lineup, the worry is who's going to fill in that 8th hole. But Bulldogs are going to hope to get a rally going as the count goes full to Brown. Brown so far this season has 14 runs, 14 hits, 10 runs. That's going to be popped up. Ben Smith, the catcher running back, it's going to be in the stands. No, it's going to be close. Into the netting there, right behind the plate. Rotations here going into that. It's going to be low, ball 4 to the third baseman, Brown. Not what you want to do here in the top of the 9th inning. Of course, wanting to slam the door, but a walk issued. Thing here for Poindexter is that's actually his first free base given up since the 3rd inning. Aside the one pitch, but when I say face, I mean walk. In this game, he's actually had decent control aside from the hit by pitch. But Brown now makes his way over to first. Gentleman will be the batter. Gentleman has struck out swinging and looking in this game. Runner's going, a bunt is dropped, and it's going to go foul. So now we kind of know the plan here of what the Buccaneers are going to do. Gentleman look to get a sacrifice bunt and run it out. Brown was basically standing on second base by the time that the bat made contact with the pitch from Poindexter. They're going to try to move it on and get a couple insurance runs here in the ninth inning. Poindexter looking for a double play opportunity. You see the infielder over there and Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, playing very shallow in case they try to do it again. And a runner is going to go, and they might have a pickle. Here's the play over at second base, and he's going to be out. There it is. There's the umpire. It took him a month of Sundays to call it, but a great throw there by Grant Ross. We're going to have to possibly see an injury report there out at second base in the runner. He took off running, got smoked by Poindexter, who threw it over to Ross in the pickoff attempt, threw it down to Netterville, who was covering the bag. There was no chance for a turnaround there by the third baseman Brown, as he is picked off the bases. The bases are cleaned up, swept, and dusted as we get to return to the at-bat to Gentleman. They're going to make sure that Brown is okay. I think he might have had a The time has come for a Bulldog rally here in the bottom of the ninth. We're going to start it off with Mitch Sisk. He's going to pop that one out towards right field, and there it is. They got their first hit of the inning. Sisk is going to make his way to first base, and the tying run is going to come to the plate. He only has to see one pitch. We get this thing started here in the bottom of the ninth. You can feel the momentum after that incredible play by Britt Netterville. Of course, the Bucks being very frustrated in that decision-making by the first base umpire, but the Bulldogs have their first runner on to get this started with Grant Ross coming up to the plate. So Sisk gets the single here for the Bulldogs. Of course, they are out hitting The Bucks 6 hits to 3 hits. Very different here as we see Grant Ross, the left-hander in the lineup, face the wide open stance of Trent Cole. Sisk leading off by a few. Not going to steal. They're going to let Ross do his work at the plate. They're going to let him cook here. In the second inning, Ross had a single, was left stranded at second base. In the 7th inning, of course, he had that big double and was also stranded, looking to get his 3rd hit of the game. He's had the best offensive day of anybody here for the Bulldogs as he fouls that one back towards the grills that they are unloading. We see the pickup trucks roll in here on the third base side. They're going to unload a couple grills and start cooking some burgers and stuff for some of the fans expected for the second game of this doubleheader. Don't forget to join us here after the conclusion of this game. We'll take about 30-40 minutes, flip the field, get everybody their snacks, drinks, and reset everything as we go into the second game of the doubleheader. Bulldogs looking to scrap their way back into this one, only down by 2. Of course, the only 2 runs put up were in the 3rd inning by the Bucks as Grant Ross takes a big swing through that one. Trent Cole, of course, getting his 3rd inning of work. Only seen 3 pitchers in this game. Poindexter threw the complete game, all 9 innings, threw 114 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and Ross goes down swinging. Blake Barrett has the runner over there at first. Anybody's day as the sun is quickly covered by clouds here. Clouds now giving the outfielders a little bit of assistance in tracking the balls. Gentleman and Faro, the middle infielders, having a conversation about who's covering in a situation. Barrett takes the called first strike. He doesn't really agree with it. He struck out twice in this game, once looking and once swinging in the 5th and 7th inning respectfully. He was hit by pitch and then left stranded, of course, in the 2nd inning. Really towering over the plate here. And a big swing and a miss on the outside. We're going to see if Cole is going to do the exact same thing. That pitch was placed right outside of the reach of Barrett. McDaniel, of course, setting up in the exact same place once again. Low and outside. That's where they know Barrett likes it. And that's exactly where they're going to throw it. They're going to throw it in the dirt, though. He gets a little bit too aggressive, but everybody and their wizard could expect that pitch to be low and outside. We'll see if he does it again to try to get Barrett to chase. 1-2 count to him. Sisk still the runner, not too aggressive over there at first base. That's going to be hit to the shortstop. He's going to have a chance for a double play. There's 1, there's 2, and the game comes to a devastating close here in Jackson. The Buccaneers win the first one. Don't forget to stick around with us. We'll be right back with you in about 30 minutes for the second game of this doubleheader as a double play ends it for the Bulldogs. And a crashing end to this really tight, great game. The win is going to go to Sleeper. He pitched 5 2/3 innings with 3 hits given up, no runs. The loss will go to Poindexter. His second complete, back-to-back complete game loss. He went all 9 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. So 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base for the Buccaneers. Of course, they walked twice and struck out 4 times. For the Bulldog, the stat line is they had no runs. They did have 6 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base as well, 2 doubles, a walk, and they struck out 11 times. That's going to do it for the first game. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be right back with you here in about probably about 30 minutes, 40 minutes as they flip it. Very quick game here. Just around 2 hours and 15 minutes. Nobody saw that coming. Great night in the game. Reminder that the second game will only be 7 innings. I'm Ethan Voss from Bulldog Baseball. We'll be right back with you. Thanks.